Hey everyone, so I figured I just wanted to do a quick life check-in sort of thing. This past week I went to the Open Source Summit, which was super cool. It was in LA. There were a bunch of companies there showing a bunch of different products. I felt like a lot of the concentration was on, for instance, like Kubernetes, containers related things, or maybe I'm just biased because those are the things that I'm currently interested in. But in terms of like distributed systems talks, there was definitely a lot. So I actually went because I gave a talk and it was called "You're Not a Real Software Engineer." I think it went pretty well. I was surprised at how many people actually showed up. Like a lot of the room was filled up pretty well. And afterwards, I was really surprised because some people came up to me and wanted to talk to me to ask if I could give the talk at other sort of like meetups or things like that. So definitely keep in touch with them. And if you're one of those people, don't forget to reach out to me. Another aspect I would say is this was one of my first super large conferences that I've gone to alone. And I wasn't really expecting much, I didn't really have high expectations. I was kind of expecting to be just sort of float around and go to talks here and there. But actually a lot of people sort of ushered me into their social groups or professional groups and hung out with me, which is really cool. I do have to say that women are so amazing at networking, at least at tech events. It sucks that there's so few of us, but it's also interesting in that we use that to our benefit because we literally all know each other. There's so many instances where I was just hanging out with a bunch of women and they would just introduce me around the circle. And I definitely hope to keep up with those connections and hopefully foster them into friendships later on through social media and through other groups and things like that. So I figured I would also sort of talk to y'all about possibly future plans and what I've been thinking about lately. This is just all sort of at the top of my head. I sort of outlined a few talking points to talk about. But future plans, so I recently got this book. One second. It's called Linux Kernel Development, and I'm really excited to read through it. So far, I've read through chapter 1 and the part of the foreword. I thought it was really funny because you could definitely get a sense of the author's personality through the first parts of the book. I'm really hoping that he has a few sassy comments here and there that's unexpected. I thought there was, I think he has a sense of humor. I obviously don't know the author, but so far it's been pretty good. And I'm really excited to learn more concrete aspects of Linux. Specifically, I've taken operating system classes before, in college and things like that, and distributed systems class during my senior year, but they were sort of just talking about general aspects of operating systems, and we sort of did these tiny little programs within x86, which is a learning it's used to help students learn about operating systems and things like that. But I'm more excited to learn about the specifics of Linux. Another thing that I really want to look into in the future is Plan 9, which was a distributed operating system that was created. And it was really interesting to see sort of the thread of different leads to the project that I could recognize, for instance, Rob Pike, and then also the illustrator for their logo is actually the illustrator for the Go mascot now, which I thought was pretty cool. And the other future thing that I really want to get into is joining a Kubernetes special interest group. I don't actually know which one I want to join yet because I'm like interested in all of them. But if you have any suggestions of ones that are like easier to jump into and like start coding, let me know. I really want to start getting involved in that and having and being able to contribute to Kubernetes upstream. So if you have any suggestions, definitely make sure to tweet at me or comment down below. And yeah, that's it. Let me think if I have anything else I want to say. So I did get accepted to more conferences, which is really awesome and like unexpected, but like throughout this entire experience of applying to conferences so quickly and getting into them so quickly, I'll definitely make sure to create a video in the future. I will say that I'm probably going to decrease the amount of like soft skill type of things, soft skill kind of talks in the future, just because like I don't want to get into the rut of being accepted to like technical conferences and then talking about like diversity, inclusion, things like that. I'm like totally okay with that in the beginning, just to sort of get my name out there and to show that I'm good at speaking, but I won't be applying to any, like I won't be creating any more of those talks in the future, except maybe for conferences that are specifically dedicated to diversity inclusion, and also where I see like other people talking about softer skills, and then like also making sure that those conferences have underrepresented minorities talking about technical skills. But it's just sort of something I've been thinking about lately and like something I've been feeling kind of weird about. But that's just sort of a quick life update. I have so many videos in the pipeline that I will make during my free time that I do not have. It was funny because during the talk, someone was asking, during my talk during Open Source Summit, someone was asking me, they were like, Amy, like you're a full-time engineer and like you do all this stuff, how do you have the time to do all of that? And like my answer was, I have no life. All I do is work, and then I create videos on the weekend when I feel like it, or read, and I will be reading this once again. So I will definitely, try to wrap up some videos. I know I still have part 2 of the Borg video to create, as well as just like some other things that I've been thinking about. But that's just a quick life update, and I will see you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye.